Díomh agus fáilte ró go scríomh. Tá muid arás a ríis le our panel déirnach. Cred no not cred. So this is our last panel as part of Screeve. So it's emotional. It's emotional, and we're not finished. Martha crash test coming to win ihe morach agus komala sin tamwid tá leiv intuk a win. We have a reading from Alison Martin and her play Curkle, which is going to be directed by Ursula McGinn, this reading, and it's going to be particularly good on Sunday. Okay, Juice, I just want to introduce you to our panel. So Maris gana tá on Relt an féile Roxana na glím an Roxana tú an seo? Fáilte rát. Cumáile sin tá Joey Kavanagh, mó partner in crime ar crash test kaint an seo. Sean Dunn. You'll never know, but you saved my life. Fáilte rát. So, for anybody watching at home, this is a bilingual space. If you are watching, feel free to throw questions and comments in below. They can be Asperla or Asquelga. It's Kumaling by Muid Nagat Yanguk and Tomer Fod. We're going to be bilingual. And we're finishing up our chats basically, which have been about theatre. And I don't know about you guys who've been paying attention, but a lot of people have been saying, when was the last time there was an Irish language play on the Abbey stage? And I actually don't know when the last time was, but I think I know when the next time will be. So Sean, an bhfuil tú ag iarraidh intin dún píosa faoi éitlóm mar dráma in Gaeilge stáit in a monasteach. There will be a bilingual or an Irish language play on the Abbey stage, which is something people have been asking for all week, and I'm not sure if everybody is aware that éitlóm is coming. Do you want to chat to us about it a bit?
Sure, by Ceannaigh talked Tasula gong an bblion seo ach ní lisaún tá ruí ag tarlú ag airí an Emmer fad ach se tá mé gobar a drama nuad a brenn éislóm le 1212 sin zóní ridan agus modelí agus am the gain of size adaptation in the taimi atá buinte le Carmen. So tá de buinte na taimi an opera sin agus am the gain of drama le Ceol, trí Gaeilge, sais ga hangach freisin like sais mascon de Berla agus de Gaeilge ach tá an sais fuineh langweach. Se agus tá de gobar an isis agus bhí cruniú mór goin inniu faoi is tá de gáí ag bu le na chéile agus just a géirí sais by tree on COVID mess agus mi a crothú an drama ach se tásúla go bhaid ag tarlú a copies be hain rainos.
Ítach. So nílis gom Sean an bhacha tú ein chora a bhí ar Ceol. I know we've been busy this week, you probably haven't seen a lot of the conversations, but it's been a big topic of conversation has been, where are these platforms for Irish language plays and why aren't we seeing them more in theatre? And that's been our biggest takeaway, I think, is that for a lot of artists have felt that that why are they creating work in Irish, or why go to that trouble if they feel like there isn't a platform there for them. So it's great to see more Irish language work being championed like this. You're mainly known for English language work, so what made you kind of veer Asquelga?
Well, for the last few years, actually, I've been working more and more through Irish. So I've made a couple of short films in Irish. People like Gascon on Danger Guna Dani, Dortu Darvana de Canawando, because renovation 1212 a reach. So I made that short film of 1212, and it was about kind of like heartbreak, really, in the inner city. But it was kind of like an abstract, kind of fever dream style short film. That project was collaborating with us on. So I did that in Irish, and I did actually another kind of short experimental documentary that Roxana was in called Irscalora. And we brought that around some festivals, like we did Dublin International Film Festival, Galway Film Fla, and we did Cork Film Festival as well. So tá an simugum le bheith gobar trí Gaeilge tá sé Jackar, agus ar haimh an sais winning the we make fecin ar an scan on rinne Roxana an Shopton show agus bhí nás gan sin agam sa leis an sais on I'm winning, I'm winning. I've been a tassel come back over tree Gaeilge agus I'm just getting into the energy recently of like this ga hangach world agus on size on pig chonga togum, and not like apologizing for that, but like really leaning into it and allowing that to be like a style of work actually. And so instead of feeling like I need to be corrected all the time, or I have to put the work through this like rigorous process so that like TG Cahar and these anonymous powers that be will like approve of me, like I don't think that that's all in my head. I can actually just do what I want to do with the language. That's what I'm leaning into, and that's what I'm hoping to do moving forward. And that's what Aishlum will definitely be, a version of that kind of work as well, I think.
Well, go Brista, but make it fashion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bhuaigh tú dús sa féile mar leach lia anúirí
Bhú míad on Audience Choice Award, yeah, for sure. Agus an sin bhú míad dúis eile le haig dúir tú a corcaí an bbliain seo, so an obair dhéanam trí gaeilge like a gánaí bíon dúisna bíon dúisna agus bíon sim ag daoine san obair sin, so ceapan gur bhfuil an appetite ann is what I mean to say there, agus ceapan gur bhfuil daoine ag géirbhí rudí eáil trí gaeilge, so tá sé sin arás agus ar thaobh anáis an ceis sin a bhí tú ag leabhar faoi Africa ar thaobh like where are the platforms? I think the platforms are definitely like they're to be found. I think we have to sometimes get buildings behind the work, and we have to like break down the kind of fear that people have around the language. But I think the audiences are there, which is positive.
Like find like a sweeney into on cover makes like idir agus bar like is it conscious decision like this is an English, this is an Irish, like sin an rud like nor vi misha agree like vírum an sais rhythm at all agus do speech jacker like kunas entration or tatu is that this like very ridiculous great
clean on cast kind like like have cover make the like agus like on smina patag on the day like tasha fween rhythm like fween fwinov agus Neil on size word like have like cover make that Neil Shin Tavok took better like what I mean Tom Tishkin dogs on Fwinov agus on size
on that kind of
yeah Neil McSmeen of machine Tom more McSmeen of like fween like on Chanis now on Mohukan agus on size on time Triangle Generalta agus on Chonga count and early she tagwin more like awkwardella, like tá chonga out, tá Masilchi out, tá Ashtori out, tá fucking Deishu out, like Quillerwood. Because the chonga just count as never really talking. So I'm trying to just think a little bit more abstractly about how I approach language more generally. Because yeah, like you can put yourself under a lot of pressure, to kind of to do the language justice and to do the language service. When really like save yourself.
Yeah.
Save yourself you're working with, what I mean? Because that's all you have to do at the end of the day. It just has to make sense to everybody. It has to feel good for you instead of it becoming like a Irish oral exam, you know what I mean? I think you may shock make loud lift as soon as I'm like Tysigum go with my again of like putting her for the hot up with some grammar like Norlo or August like Tadini guy stuck up as I should go like what was he even saying? But I know what I'm saying. And it feels good. So I'm trying to lean into that approach a little bit more.
If you declare earlier on Nislo like we meet off we like matatu sween of and Tom Galer like the Gramadoc on August on like Gockroad like the folklore August Marshinde just get like you just wouldn't speak August like you get like imni or August Faust Harley and Shay like done inish like inish task on like nail shin on rod Tavok is say on Chagval on Cummersad
on Cummersad Shine
yeah agus so ceiste gom dit tá ceol part more de Aishlum. Music is kind of integral to that, and one thing we've noticed is and you see it come up again and again that maybe it's always been said, okay, Ireland is not Dublin is not a city for musicals. If you compare us to other cities, we don't have, and I'm not suggesting that Screeve is a musical, or sorry, that Screeve is a festival, that Aishlum is a musical. But in general, we don't go for that kind of music-edged theatre in English language, but Irish language. Is it because our history of storytelling is so ingrained with our history of music that and poetry, I think Roxana, you probably agree, very much straddles that line between the two of them. Is there something in, I suppose, is it more than just a language, Irish? Is it also a medium? And is that why we often see music as more of a way of expressing the Irish language? No one 18 shiv let in. Is that a massive jump? Mo part. No one doileh will say like oh hey culture de an will an ceol tábhachtach.
Hef an ceol agus an teanga ceapan go leiríon mí i gáí faoin slí go bhfuil an teanga ceolver. You know what I mean? Agus ceapan weed go bhfuil like talent so to like to master the janga, you know what I mean? Ceapan go smín an daoine sa sin agus hef an scríb áireach de like bí magóní ag smíanamh trí bearla nó trí bealga go bhfuil teanga ceolver a rénos. Ach hef an sais an nasc idir an ceol agus an teanga go generalta. Níl mór an taithí a gom lei sin chun an iarna ancient, you know what I mean? Tá mo taithí leis an teanga site sa scóil agus site sa like sna contribute agam ag fáú spaidir, like you know I don't have a very musical background. You know, Zoe and Maud who were holding the music for Rachel, they might feel a little bit differently, and like they went to a school that was very musical and they're very musical themselves, so they could probably speak more stuff, but I'm learning how to work with music as well as learning how to work with Irish, you know. But what's funny about that is for me is that music is really a universal language, because there's so much emotion and just inherent understanding in music, which I think is great when you are working with a language that people don't really understand. At least the music is kind of taking them somewhere 100%, and maybe they can check out of focusing so much on the words for once, because I think the words generally can kind of cripple theatre a little bit, you know.
Yeah, no, take it me. No, take it me. So okay, Shai our panel there. It's our last panel of the week. We've had some brilliant discussions, really like tá sé cótábhachtach go bhfuil mar an seo ag labhairt faoi drámaíochtaí Gaeilge i mórm se, agus tá sé tábhachtach go bhfuil mar play fiú na téim fad a bhí áflé ag bhain an teachtain seo. But we're wrapping up the festival in terms of what we talk about. The panels, there are still events tomorrow night and Sunday night. But what's next now that we've kind of, as a community of Irish language speakers, we've come together and said, you know, we want a revolution, we want more Irish language work, and we want it to be of high quality, we want it to be funded really well, and we want it to be shown everywhere. Curdy on plan now, lads. Cad is dóibh agus tá sé seo oscailte go do gacéine, like what do we do next ar dóibh?
Well, just ceapan gur chaimid é seo a dhéanamh like a bhfuil míad a dhéanamh inis, like an rud we like we like nor we make shrieve sugar like talked in oh like tá sé an person to agus caiig sé bheith an person mar sin an tain rud a bhfuil is go like sin mo éanna ach cean go sé le daine, like so just be a lá daine an wit an sin ag mothú an slí chéine agus just lena córá like na córá ceorcail a bhí ann ire an seachtain mohíonn gachtain a mar an ggéine ach I gáí níl míad ag leabhar lena chéile beidir bhfuil a rís daine le chuna caiid an lífa Gaeilge ag déanamh rudí ach daine beidir nach bhfuil winínach an é sin focail like nach bhfuil winín untu níl like tá siad a géirí bheith feic an der obair as Gaeilge, tá siad a géirí bheith ag leabhart as Gaeilge. So just call me like our pobl like féin a chorthú agus an sin beag siad not an like chocht céine, you know, the kind of way and form the ultimate. But yeah, just call me ag leabhart faoi like cad atá ann agus cadíd na achfaní atá muid an sin a bhfuil míad an úsáid le chéile agus inis tá is agam like tá lán daine like a bhí mé like cardú leis thar na bliana a bhfuil Gaeilge acu agus a bhfuil sim obair as Gaeilge agus just dhéanana daine ó tá mé fá ag fáil if you need any help with this or you know help with funding or this or that, like tána achfaní ag teacht chu mar chur mé féin an wit an sin agus tá mé go leabhart faoi antanga agus mo ober. So ceapan gur é seo an rud like we need to keep this going, if you know what I mean.
And I like rud a dirt to an sin Sean hanning sé vi Kirkle Cora a gwyn got trinona an chapten shot just ag leir le Ali and Tori agus rud a hannig su a rish an question like when are we a gwelgor and when are we proud and when do we say that we are Irish speakers and Joey had a great solution for this today that I think we should all take on board that will hopefully give us that confidence and that feeling, which is Joey want to say variation raw like shock is raw is well gourmet raw.
Sure, yeah. I suppose I was vi me ag play on Albert like tagwelga a gum. So like I mean it's Phaedra raw like Larry and Gwelga come on. So I mean you can say I speak Irish, but the translation of tagwelga gum is I have Irish, and it's so I suppose we all tagwelga ag going fad like no, we all have a little bit of Irish. I mean anyone who's grown up in the country can ask how to go to the toilet or can the permission to go to the toilet or to close the door and those kind of expressions. So I suppose that's a nice way to look at it. And I mean we were talking about Mon Conaghan like he's obviously done some great things with the language in the last few years and more recently with the projects he's been working on. And I mean vi me ag Cardlan leis cúpla seachtain ó hin agus tá sé fósaigh fém like he's still seeking out new words and showcasing these new words he's finding. So like I think there's a false binary between like being a Gaeilgeoir and being someone who struggles with the language, and we all need to I suppose be proud of Cibé level atá going and do our best to kind of win Trilos. So Roxana, I suppose bhálum clúisteamh faoin geol siúcra handshake an mórlam agus cé rinne é agus cad a bhí an process.
Yeah, so sin an tain or a bhí mise ag éirí ceol a chur le mo filiocht like so tá sé granar go nortuation Africa faoi like an ceanga litter antanga agus ceol agus beidir go sé sin beidir go raibh sé bhí sé like 4 nóméid agus like sin an fada chun just éis le mo go mu inner city nic go but just I got ruddy cosú leis na kind of tain sé leis an narrative leis an scéil atá ann agus le ceol tatu able to like cosú nerd tatu fake there's ains gone on like the kind of where it peaks and where it kind of comes in and out agus tá mé a gobar frí láthair well to me just like kind of like like you're messing around le ceol agus mó cuid Felix Bale Twiggy is sé anam agus is bass player a session musician ach bíonn sé gobar leis an banna ceol sin Wild Youth or Wilder Youth is like banna ceol mór iad ag or like dégóirí agus just bhí sé géirí rudí difriúlahéanamh agus a ceol a produce all so bhí mar just ag kind of like bhí session ag seol ceol cúm agus mé sé seol like rudí arás agus like Tommy sa tauki is sé an flan nach beidir like LP en of le chéile nó ru mar sin ach yeah nuair a chunig mé an fi sé dús just bhí rud aigen just mí ceart agus an sin chur Twiggy an ceol seach agus just like bam just elevated it like dairigh sé agus yeah so like níl mé i ggéirí dul arás gotí just mise I can't stand the voice no ach yeah just it's rud jazz chun just collaborate le dina agus nor fine tú dina like cahal like sure on darrod Tommy de gober le chéile agus Tommy like inis like right now what's the next thing you know so nor fine tú the kind of crew being rud on special diffusion
yeah well it's like grit amachchas amar tá mid cumad an ceanta an gear ach bhálum grama got rá the gacéine a bhí páirteach le scríb súsca seo. As I said, it's not over, but I would like to say thank you to everybody who's been part of it so far. So everybody who's been part of any of our panels, who has joined us for the Ceol Cora, who's been leaving comments, and some really nice comments below. Aoife Spillane says, "Gwe Gabrista, but make it fashion." She likes it, Joey. Yeah, you started it. We can get that on t-shirts now. Darren Sam McGovern, Point to Intach O'Shawn, is far Gwe Gabrista, etc. Concarthat. Shanti O'Malley, Darren Che, Intach Ishin a Clistel, Nar Lagadishiv, Exula Aishlum Ekal. And Sean, once you have, I know that it was postponed once it was supposed to be on last year, and we're looking forward to hearing when it comes back. Once theaters open again, and obviously we'll all be waiting for news, whether it's this year, whether it's next year. We really want to see Aishlum, so be keen to come inch and doing what the plans are when they happen. Well, I think we're all as well just like so itching to get back into the theatre. Aoife Spillane has shared a nice link below for Anya. She says, Irish tenor Gavin Rings talks thrillingly about singing opera Oscuelga in this podcast. Found it very interesting. Possible too with Bradley Air, YouTube, Nistani, Kurime Ashins in the comments. Agus Mahu, Roxana, Julie and Daroon. So Tommy just to chat with Dara. Lads, by my Jarash Iha Nukt or Iha Morak for a crash test kind, which will be great. I think, I assume. I mean, it's always great. Crash test kind is usually Iha Misul, Veen Agwin, San Auraclin Axis. It's a monthly night that's a mix between kind of open mic, a bit of comedy, bit of Ceol Cora, bit of chat. It's a cabaret. Agus by Shishin Agwin Iha Amorok. That's Joey Kavanagh's brainchild, Grumaga Joey, and Roxana by Tussalin, not my?
Yeah, always.
Yeah. Then we did Exula panel, a jazz lahayashin. I say a panel, but it's more guests. It's more a game show. Alexanchin, Iha Day Downuk, Alison Martin. We will be doing a reading of a development of a new piece from Alison Martin. She's one of the Access Oscuelga participants, and she's written a new play called Ceol, which is set over Zoom, so it's perfect. If you want to watch a reading over Zoom, it's set on Zoom. And Tikadi Airfall, Kaitui de Vokal, Aktashe Ser in Ashka. That's at accessvalleymoon.ie/whatfam/shows. So Gurmila Mahagweave, thank you all so much. Really appreciate you all, everything that you have done. I'm really happy with this revolution that we are starting. Agus Becky May, Iha Mork Tivig shocked here now.
Margaret.